What's up, guys? It's the one and only African superstar. I just want to let you know that our fourth official music video, Come Chill With Me, is ready to drop when the channel reaches 3,000 subscribers. So in the meantime, enjoy this clip. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are. Head over to the AfricanSuperstar.com to get logo merchandise. Until we meet again. What's up, African Superstar family? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African Superstar. And you know what? I have repetitively been blown off by Ghanaians when I have told them, you know, after being repetitively asked, of course, why I left the West, why I left America. One of my top 5 reasons cited is violence. And what I've seen mostly from many African migrants, not just the Ghanaian community, is a cognitive dissonance to the violence and things that, Black Americans or other Black people, whatnot, are experiencing in the West. I want to share this story with you, and then I want to give you my commentary.
He was a good man. He was a good man. He was my backbone. I'm lost right now.
This heartbroken widow could not contain her grief. Through her tears and surrounded by her 4 young children, Abigail GYIMAH said she does not know how she will go on without her husband. Police say 52-year-old Kutan GYIMAH, originally from Ghana, died after fatally striking his head on the ground Saturday morning in the Edgemere section of Queens. This followed a struggle with 5 passengers. Police allege they refused to pay their taxi fare and then tried to rob him.
My children's killed. I don't know what to do right now. I am lost in this country.
At a news conference Sunday at the taxi fleet management company Big Apple, where GYIMAH worked, the operations manager remembered a gentle, hard-working taxi driver who rarely took a day off.
During the worst days of the pandemic, when the city absolutely shut down and you couldn't get anywhere and you couldn't get trains and you couldn't get buses, this gentleman drove his cab. He never stopped taking passengers. This, to me, is a hero like a first responder.
There is now a $15,000 reward for the capture of those responsible for the death of GYIMAH. There's also a growing GoFundMe page to help the family with funeral costs and to help them live without their husband, father, and principal breadwinner, as police continue to hunt for the 5 passengers, 3 men and 2 women.
The yellow cab did not have a camera. They're not required to have a camera, but we believe that there's videos from delis and from businesses and buildings that were in the neighborhood. Commissioner Sewell assured us that they're very close.
So in this story, we see obviously a Ghanaian taxi driver in New York, taking some passengers, the passengers trying to get out of the taxi without paying, and then consequently him being beaten and killed as a result of this. What I want to say, and what I have continued to say, and what I want to stress is that the violence that happens in the West, it has no name. Like I mentioned before, many African migrants seem to think that the violence that happens towards Black people is not relative to them. They seem to think that it's not going to happen to them. They seem to identify it as a Black American problem. But what you have to understand is you can't sit in water and not get wet. Okay. You know what I think is interesting is that, for instance, in Ghana, I take boat and Uber quite frequently. I mean, it's my primary mode of transportation. And I mean, the primary way that people are paying for taxi rides is cash. Now, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some people that will try to skip out of taxi rides, and this can happen worldwide. However, I believe someone being assaulted, killed, beaten, or so on and so forth as a result is much less likely. And that's what we don't want to understand. We are always seen as Black people. We're always seen as foreign in these lands. Do not get comfortable among hostility. Do not look at what happens to your counterparts and disassociate that from yourself. New York, for instance, is I hate to say it, but it's a very violent city. You know, many people, many continentals don't know the extent of the violence that happens in New York City. I know one of our viewers has been constantly updating me on a lot of situations that happen in New York. I know they said that subway crime, for instance, is up 60% since the previous year. You know, these are the kind of things that involve everyday people doing everyday things. It doesn't mean that you're a gangbanger. It doesn't mean that you're a drug dealer. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. You know, we should understand this and have some solidarity, because the plight of one black man or one black woman is the plight of all of us. You know, obviously this, for some reason, you know, I mean, it's very tragic, no doubt, but it's very, very shocking to the Ghanaian community. And I think that has to do with the fact that they do not correlate what is happening as a whole in the nation to potentially becoming victims of such things. You know, I have repetitively told, you know, continentals and, you know, other Africans abroad that we should be concerned about what is happening around us, what is happening to other people that look like us. I'm not sure if the people that beat him, if they knew he was Ghanaian, if it even mattered, you know. But the fact of the matter is that Ghanaian was living in New York City. That Ghanaian was there at that time, at that place in that time, and became another hashtag, another victim, you know. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I've already spoke my mind about it. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.